చైర్ కావాలి అవన్నీ వెనుక కూడా బిజీయా ఒకటి తీసుకోవచ్చు అక్కడ కూర్చొని ఎంతసేపు తీసుకో
What? What the fuck are you saying? Deactivated it. Hey, I told you come here, both of you. Both of you come here. Yeah, we're gonna come. Perfect. Excuse me, PR head. Excuse me, PR head. Yes. Babies are asking something. What? Say something came to your mouth. Because around that's what supposed to do. Starting of bed. First side से लगा. इसीलिए मैंने उसको बोला कि podcast के लिए बहुत बड़ी बुला है. तो मतलब हम क्लास ले ले साथ में ले लेना. ये हो गया. चीज़ में बोल. That is what I was saying. Maybe 2 days. By chance. हाय चांसलर हम अटक गए आईटी चेयर पे so good.
This is so exciting.
No.
Don't put anything. They will know. No, or attending the Nalsar University. Attending the IB हाँ हाँ ठीक है yeah.
Why are you putting that? This
हाँ yeah, she's making a reel.
close it. 1 minute. Morning,
So, Manish? Okay. Turnout is bad. So we're just waiting for a few more people.
Yes, sir. December.
How much time did it take?
Folder क्या किया है?
I never Motam also made a
नील आए ना अब नहीं नील अरे भाई नील नहीं अरे नहीं नहीं बात
यार मेरी ये प्रोफाइल तुम लोग सारे प्रोफाइल
खाली
हमारा नहीं आने चाहिए फोटो आएगी
ఇక్కడ షో అయితే చాలు.
PR team is just working.
Trying very hard. You should be proud of us.
Finish audio. वो साइड पे
Sure.
बैठे देखिए कैसे खुद की पोस्ट
एक कोशिश करिए तो मेरा थोड़ा कैंसिल वही डालिए यार पता कैसे चलेगा हो गया हाँ वेट करने के लिए यार ये प्रॉपर ऐसी चीजें दिखती है कैसे दिखाना कोई के लिए Watch back if you take like this.
But I don't send like I'm there.
हाँ सही है.
You know, maybe
वो
we are
finish मत effort कितना सारा मैं था
ये फोटो आनी चाहिए जिस बुक के ब्लर कर देना
Is your eyebrows? Is your eyebrows?
చూడండి ఇంగ్లీష్
Check. Hello. Hello.
A good picture at least. Oh, perfect. Picture at least. Oh. You're busy. पहले रुको बड़ी बेटा पहले बैठो क्या लेना है Very kind. Okay, ma'am.
Just PR. ऐसी जगह बैठना है
सारी भेज दी थी ग्रुप पे, फिर अब सॉर्ट कर रही थी, मुझे 500 डाउनलोड करनी पड़ी। अरे यार मेरे हाथ कम पड़ रहे हैं, क्लिक कर दो यू क्लिक, जो मैंने बोला वो कोई नहीं करता है,
बटन से ऐसे ही होता है ना।
उसी पे हो रहा है फोकस मैडम। ड्रॉप कर लो। दिखाओ मुझे वो बोलो। कौन बोल रहा था? Guys showing their skills. What is that? Serious skills. ना किसी ने कुछ बोला इसको। वो तो होता है।
अच्छा
कुछ very good.
हाई चाहिए
क्या सारी चीजें।
Greeting everyone and a very warm welcome to Nalsar, and thank you for being here on a Saturday morning. I think it really goes to show the level of enthusiasm we all have for the topic today. Well, briefly, the title for today's conference is IP Education in India. Is it churning out the needed talent? And we have a plethora of speakers joining in today, and we also have a very exciting quiz lined up down the line by Professor Nindya Sarkar. So I hope you all are as hyped up as we are to have you here with us today. Before we begin, we would like to present our inaugural presents. If I could call upon Aishwarya Rotella and Professor Krishna Deva Rao to hand over the plant to our key inaugural speaker.
We have gone totally green. Small plants will do.
Next, may I please call upon Professor Nindya Sarkar to hand over our token of appreciation to our respected Vice Chancellor, Professor Krishna Deva Rao.
Something for you.
Thank you, sir.
Sir, could you also please hand over the plant to Honorable Chancellor Vidyalata Reddy? To start off, I would like to call upon Professor Anindya Sirkar, Chair Professor of IPR at Nalsar, to say a few words about the conference. Professor Dr. Anindya Sirkar is currently IPR Chair Professor at Nalsar University of Law, Hyderabad, and also engaged in consulting, strategizing, teaching, and training programs in the field of intellectual property management. He is an IP advisor to several companies, firms, startups, and visiting faculty on IPs on several IP courses in law institutes. He continues to be a resource person to numerous workshops, conferences, and seminars in the field of IP. His earlier corporate positions include Associate Vice President and Head of IP with Infosys Limited, responsible for all IP activities for Infosys and its subsidiaries, and Global Head of IP for the Biocon Group, and was instrumental in setting up the IP practices for the Biocon groups. Sir, if you could please take over.
Good morning, everybody. We have a wonderful day planned out. I'm not going to take more than 2 minutes. I welcome you all. And as we were speaking, Professor Pandit told me, when I told him, the turnout of participants is very less, he said, that's okay, IP is not for masses, IP is for classes. And we should focus on the class. So I welcome everybody, and I would now request our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor Krishna Devarao, to give the welcome address.
Good morning. I welcome all of you to this IP education in India. Is it churning out the needed talent? I appreciate the IP chair, Nalsar, for identifying one of the contemporary theme, which is relevant, which requires a rethinking. So I welcome Professor Unat Pandit, Controller of the Patent Office, Controller General Patents, Designs and Trademarks Office. I think 6 months ago, sir, we had a wonderful discussion when at that time I was the Vice Chancellor of NLU Delhi with my colleague and friend Yogesh Pai. We met because this, if you are familiar with the Dwaraka, NLU Delhi neighbor is the patent office. So we had a wonderful discussion at that time. And I think that discussion is being carried forward today in this workshop, a seminar, or a consultation. We were just having a discussion that IP education needs a serious, real, contemporary rethinking. 2012, Yogesh, we were just discussing about, Microsoft India gave a small grant, first time to bring IP law teachers. That continued for 3 years. There was also a small grant for the IP teachers to visit. This is the University of Washington, NLU Delhi, University of Washington, Seattle, which is supported by Microsoft. I was sharing with Professor Pandit that that really helped. And later on, NLU Delhi, from its own resources, continued that for about 3 to 4 years. We should go beyond that in IP education, because IP education, as Professor Sarkar is rightly pointed out, there is a gap in our learning. Curriculum, skills, and also bridging the gap between industry and academia. Business law, commercial law, insolvency, all that is at one level. Intellectual property is so multidisciplinary. Science, technology, law, not just only patents, copyright, trademark, traditional knowledge, biotechnology, you name. That's a vast compared to the other modern contemporary courses in the legal education. So that gap is where the industry should come in. Patent office, I think we were just having a discussion, maybe in April. We would love to bring in IP teachers. Industry, particularly Hyderabad, is a rich ecosystem of science and technology. You look at Genome Valley is close to us. You name any IT. Now more and more it coming, thanks to dynamic KTR, and several other ecosystem. Is really the Hyderabad is a rich place, and CCMB, IICT, you name anything, and all are there here. And National Institute of Small Scale Industry, it's located. So I think that's a good ecosystem. IP academia, when we are looking at, we should look at teachers, and not only teachers in the law schools, IITs we should bring in. Science teachers also we should bring in, and also bring in industry. And let's also involve more in learning from the patent office. Maybe students, if they get some internships in the patents office, that's a wonderful knowledge of learning. So I think that's the right note. I thought preliminary remarks. We will continue, sir. We need your help and support. And we are happy that you are in a major policy decision-making body. And as an academic, I think you are well aware. And we look forward to your help and support in strengthening teaching and also industry, academia, and bridging that gap. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for your words. That's definitely something we will all look into. Moving on, I'm pleased to invite our keynote speaker, Dr. Unnat P. Pandit, Controller General Patents, Design and Trademarks at the Department for Promotion of Industry and Internal Trade, Ministry of Commerce and Industry, Government of India. Dr. Pandit is also Professor of IP, Innovation and Entrepreneurship at Jawaharlal Nehru University. Formerly, Professor Pandit served as Dean of ABV SME at JNU and is a Program Director of Atal Innovation Mission at Niti Aayog. Professor Pandit was also a member of IPR-TT, constituted to draft the National IPR Policy of India. We're very excited to have you with us, Dr. Pandit. Over to you. Thank you so much.
Honorable Professor Shri Krishna Dev Rao ji, Vice Chancellor, Nalsar University of Law, Professor K. Vidyalatha Reddy ji, Registrar, Nalsar University of Law, my sir, Professor Anindya Sarkar ji, who taught me the IP in Nalsar, so it is a proud moment for me to sit on the dais of a Nalsar. And coming back to my institution, I can say that who taught me the fundamentals of IP when I opted a Nalsar Proximate Education. Nalsar Pro is the brand now in India. Nalsar is always thinking much ahead of a time. And in 2006, we came here, Professor Vivekananda, who is mainly from Nalsar, and now he is on deputation as a Vice Chancellor in a National Law University. But this change in the IP education, I must say that Nalsar is pioneer in catalyzing the change in the IP education. And in the same series, the Nalsar entire academic ambience is always thinking progressively. Whatever new thing which is going to be in requirement for the country and for the IP ecosystem, they will start little ahead of a time. And that's the beauty of this institution. When we say about the IP education in India, is it churning out the needed talent? So again, the objective is to have the IP professional who can serve the country next 10 years down the line. What is going to happen? And when we are seeing the entire ecosystem getting established or nurtured or groomed into the Nalsar, and I am trying to correlate this with the National Education Policy 2020, which also says that multidisciplinary approach. So, multidisciplinary approach is always the foundation of Nalsar, sir.
Thank you.
And this I have realized, and when I am saying I am not from the dais, sitting on the bench, I have realized this. And that is always the need for the ecosystem. And this need is going to be, it is like always going to increase. So all the students, faculty need to cope up with the increasing need and demand. When I say that IP education, it doesn't mean only the patent or trademark. We have a huge opportunities for all the upcoming IP practitioners in copyright, GI, design as well. Now, on patent and trademark, we are among the leading country in GII. Our count on a number of patent filed or trademark filed is rising day by day. And the practitioners have the opportunity in this domain. But still we are underplaying to the India's capacity in IP. Sir, I would like to submit here few numbers. So from 2014 to 2022, there is an increase in a grant of a patent and sharp jump of a 500% increase in the patent grant. And this credit goes to the practitioners, not the patent office. So this kind of awareness is now increasing. Patent filing. So how much accurate filing is there? If the accuracy is there in the enablement of an appropriate disclosure in the techno-legal document, claim drafting, and proper prior art search and written description is appropriate, then it increases the opportunity to get the patent granted. And 500% increase in grant is something which is phenomenal. And conversion of this IP into the commercialization is the real game wherein we all want the economic benefit. IP without economic benefit has a zero value. It's a piece of a paper, certificate, which you can decorate your drawing room. And we, the IP professionals, are not mean to generate such a decorative certificates. Our goal is to translate the IP into the commercialization. And this, the seeding of this IP to mind to market should start from the classroom when you are studying the fundamentals of IP and trying to practice through internal mechanisms. And that's why IP education in India is important, because this seeding is going to give a fruits in terms of a big tree to the innovation ecosystem if fundamentals are right. And this workshop is going to set these fundamentals. And while India wants to become a developed economy in Amrit Kal, Government of India has set a vision that which type of economy we wants to have in India in next 20-25 years down the line. And this budget has already set the vision, technology driven and knowledge driven economy. And technology driven, knowledge driven economy without intellectual property is impossible. So I submit here that intellectual property is going to be the key for opening the doors for the technology driven, knowledge driven economy for the country. And this IP key is going to be practiced by the current and the future IP practitioners. So there is a responsibility on your shoulder. And when sir said that we have a less number of participation in the hall, then I said that it is a matter of a class. This key cannot be given to the masses. Then there is a most likely to be getting misused. So that's why only class people have the key of a IP, and you are among that. And the vision of a technology-driven, knowledge-driven economy, we want to realize, then playing only surrounding to the patent or trademark is no longer going to give us the opportunity. India has more than 1.5 lakh crore creative asset with us. And there are very few copyright practitioners. There is a less amount of awareness in copyright sector to protect their IP right. And we are also not having a focus on offering the support to the copyright sector. Huge opportunity, 1.5 lakh crore current value. And copyright protection lasts for 70 years. एक छोटी सी जिंगल में 10 सेकंड का भी म्यूजिक लिया है without the approval of the creator amounts to the violation of IP right. And outright, left, right, center, everywhere the IP is in copyright sector. This is most ignored IP sector. IP filing is also very less. One film, if we see, how many copyright is attached or bundled with one small 2.5 hours of a film. गब्बर सिंह का जो डायलॉग है, how this is a classic, we all know that. कितने आदमी थे, ठीक है ना? And पूरा everybody recalls. We don't need to say anything. And this is a most misused. कितनी सारी एडवर्टाइजमेंट में हमने देखा है. Because the person has not protected the IP right. The script writer may have earned few crores. So many such music is also getting utilized. So all this certainly need the protection, When I say that IP education in India, we need to make sure that we are progressively and positively thinking for the futuristic need. And this is not just the case in India. This Indian IP asset, I always say use the IP asset word for all the copyright content, because this is the asset which we need to monetize. And this IP asset is not just limited to the Indian jurisdiction. There is so much of a Hindi content which is viewed in Western and the Eastern countries also. So opportunity is big. How much opportunity is encased by the futuristic IP professional? That is the question which you have to answer, and you don't need to say to anybody. Next is on design. See, the industrial revolution happened. Just if we say that let's have a barometer of a patent reforms in India. 1970, we implemented a process patent regime. In 1995, we have signed a TRIPS, and 2005 we have implemented a patent act, and now in 2023 the kind of a industrialization which has grown, and with each of this changing landmarks in the economy, country has matured enough in terms of industrialization, in terms of capacity, skilling, research, and the infrastructure. And on top of it, our approach to optimize on the cost has resulted into the creation of so many designs. Hardly the people are aware that with small tweak, there is a new design which is resulting into the economic advancement. And they are ignoring this IP protection. Even though the awareness has increased, so we have observed a 80% jump in the design protection. But still, it is again like copyright, very underplaying field. Geographical indication. We have around 445 GIs protected in India. Our actual capacity is roughly around 15,000. Each district has something to offer to this country. And that's why government has announced the unity of mall and one district, one product. GI based one district, one product. When Hyderabad comes, we recall the biryani, which is a GI protection. But so many things are still in Telangana. It is to be protected. यहाँ एक बहुत सुंदर सी एक पेपर स्वीट नाम मैं भूल गया हूँ, बहुत सुंदर है.
Putareku, yes sir.
हाँ.
Putareku, very famous.
Yes. So this is a unique identity for Telangana. All this, I must say that we need to have a futuristic vision in the IP professionals and the next generation IP lawyers, and all this need to be inculcated when you are passing through this IP journey. And then IP education in India need to address all this and create a talent which is going to fulfill the Indian requirement in future. And that's why this is not a matter of a mass, it is a matter of a class. And you are the class. And why you are the class? Nobody gets the opportunity to sit in this kind of a environment. Tell me, how many law graduate students get this kind of a content discussed, deliberated in the country? How many percentage of students get the admission in national law schools? And that's why you are among the less than 1% privileged students or privileged IP professionals who has this access to this kind of a knowledge, this kind of a discussion, deliberations which is happening. And you must reward this to the country by giving back to the society. So I often say to various practitioners that how many patents you have given to the professionals or trademark you have got granted for the corporates. You will get much more joy and satisfaction if you get one GI approved by your active engagement. एक GI प्रोटेक्ट करके आप कम्युनिटी राइट है, दिस इज अ कम्युनिटी राइट. One GI is going to offer a livelihood and social security and societal well-being to a particular community, and this lasts for the generations, and that's why GI protection is important in the country. And Professor Rao sir and Professor Ananya ji, I would like to submit that if you have any kind of a summer or winter projects, create one group project on GI. Let students go in the community, learn where the GI is, how this GI can be made a self-sustainable model if it is already protected, and how this GI is attached to the Indian culture, they will learn. And definitely one important lesson they are going to learn is they will always be rooted to the Indian culture. If they have protected one GI during their 5 years tenure, and this is not just one project during 5 years tenure, this is going to be a lifelong lesson which they are going to learn. So for all first and second year student, and this is in a phase-wise manner they can work. One GI protection and then how to make this GI a self-sustainable. This is a continuous attachment to the society, and they will always be rooted and very much within the purview of a IP. I think that kind of IP education is essential for next generation. So many opportunities are there, but yes, you need to prepare yourself to think out of box. IP cannot be in 2 pages of a bare act. This is the rules of the game. But how the game is to be played, everyone need to learn by practice. And that is something which I foresee that we all need to be sailing in the economic transformation which is happening in the country. Those who learn swimming quickly, they will sail and they will swim longer duration. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. I think one observation before Professor Sarkar takes out, continues the discussion. That's a wonderful idea, sir. I was just thinking about when you said about group geographical indications, maybe a 1-year seminar cum clinical course we can think about, and we will also bring industry, maybe Pullaredi, G. Pullaredi or somebody also, so that they will get, and it's a 1 year long, not just one semester. let's identify fourth year would be better. Let's think about it. Wonderful idea, sir. Hmm?
Sir,
Yeah.
sir, GI registry is with you
Oh, good.
for entire execution of this,
Excellent.
and we are happy to share these best practices.
Excellent, sir.
We are converting the entire process in terms of interactive
Excellent.
module,
Excellent.
and Yogesh Pai
Yeah,
ji is
yeah,
a
yeah.
part of this
Good. So they
activity exercise which we are doing. But this is something which we need to encourage in India.
And we should scout like our Anil Agarwal in IIM Ahmedabad. IIM Ahmedabad is
Anil
like
Gupta.
we should Anil Gupta, sorry. Anil Gupta like IIM Ahmedabad. So we should scout for identify geographical indications in Telangana, Andhra Pradesh, and help them in getting the GI tag. And let's bring industry also. I think that's wonderful, sir. This is a real moving forward IP education, learning and skills and bringing industry and the academia together. Thank you. Yes.
I just wanted to make one comment here. That is, the first GI to be registered from erstwhile unified Andhra Pradesh was Pochampalli textile. Okay, which the AP government at that time was very active. So was CI. And for those who know, Nalsar played a role also in that in the first GI when it was registered. That would be some 15 years back. But the rules were, we were all learning at that time. And now, hopefully, we have learned from our experiences. And we'll definitely try to launch a program, an event, which is a year long, as our sir has said. And let's see what all we can achieve.
Ek semester. Okay. We'll put that one semester and then. Yes.
Thank you, Dr. Pandit. Thank you, Professor Sri Krishna Deva Rao, and thank you, Professor Sarkar as well. I think I'm personally very excited at the prospect of this course. And I think what was most interesting about your talk was how we saw IP everywhere, either in film or our favorite food, biryani as well. So thank you very much for your talk. That was extremely engaging and interesting. Just to conclude, I would like to call upon Professor Sri Krishna Deva Rao to give a memento to our keynote speaker, Dr. Pandit. Thank you, sir. I would now like to call upon Professor Anindya Sirkar to give the mementos to our Vice Chancellor, Professor Sri Krishna Deva Rao.
Something to decorate your
Yeah, yeah,
office,
yeah. Thank you, sir.
We would now like to give the memento to our Registrar, Professor Vidyulata K. Reddy. Thank you, sir. Thank you for this inaugural session, and we will now break for a small, short break of 30 minutes, and we will reconvene at 10:35.
We can reconvene earlier if you want.
Whatever is convenient. Thank you so much. Hi everyone, there's tea right outside. Feel free to have some tea and get back. Thank you.